Breaking news overnight in the war in Ukraine. Ukraine making accusations that Russia might have used an intercontinental ballistic missile. Our chief foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, is in Kyiv for us this morning. Good morning to you, Ian.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. That's right. Overnight, multiple strikes by Russia on the eastern Ukrainian city of Dnipro, and the situation is rather confused. The big question, what was it? Ukraine initially saying it was an ICBM strike, and President Zelensky just reinforcing that in the last few minutes, but they're still assessing. ICBMs have never been used in combat before and are nuclear capable, but this wasn't a nuclear strike, and a Western official also saying they didn't think it was an ICBM, but many agreeing that they haven't seen a strike like this before. The Kremlin refusing to comment, but of course the attack comes in the wake of Ukraine firing American ballistic missiles and the US embassy here closing yesterday amid fears about a potential Russian attack. And we're also hearing that North Korean generals and high-ranking officers were present at the site of yesterday's strike using British cruise missiles into Russia. I mean, frankly, it's been a week of escalations. All of this is going to be a huge challenge for President-elect Trump and his plans to try and end Russia's war here in Ukraine.
Breaking news overnight.
Russian citizens and our friends around the world, as well as those who still nurture illusions that a strategic defeat can be inflicted against Russia, about events that are happening in the Special Military Operations Zone. I'm talking about what happened in the wake of long-range Western weapons being used in the Special Military Operations Zone. As a result of the escalation, the United States and their NATO allies said that they give their permission to use long-range weapons against targets inside Russia. Experts know fully well, and the Russian side has underscored this time and again, that using such weapons without the direct involvement of military operators from manufacturing countries is impossible. On November the 19th, 6 ATACMS missiles manufactured in the US were used, and on the 21st, a combined attack using Storm Shadow manufactured in the UK and missiles manufactured in the US were used to attack missile targets in the Bryansk and Kursk regions of the Russian Federation. Starting from that point, as we have underscored many times, the regional conflict in Ukraine, provoked by the West, acquired a global character.
Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, who do rule and teach well. Peace and blessings also to the hopefully elect Tabernacle of David, out there listening and learning, keeping the faith and diligence of our Lord Yahweh Shai until all is fulfilled and we are redeemed. So back in the news again with more World War III news. Today, let's get the article. All right, today, Russia launched an ICBM into Ukraine as a retaliatory strike against the launch that Ukraine performed yesterday in Russia. So as you heard that news reporter say in that opening clip, it's been a week of escalations, and this is beautiful to see because this is what we've been praying for. This is the acceleration of the end of this wicked world, and we're ecstatic, man. These are exciting times to be alive, to see these things really go down in real time, to see prophecy jump off the pages. So in the wake of this Ukrainian strike, this is what you have going on. Europe is further divided, which this also goes in tandem with biblical prophecy, that the beast would be divided in the last days. Right? When you go to Daniel, the 2nd chapter, about the 43rd or 44th verse, it says that the last beast to rule, the last kingdom, which represented iron, we're in the toes of that kingdom, which is Rome. All right, we're in the revival of the Roman Empire today. All right, we've done countless lessons on that. So if you're new and you have questions, drop a question in the comments, and we'll get you up to speed. But yeah, we are in the revival of the Roman Empire today. And as Daniel prophesied to King Nebuchadnezzar, that the kingdom would be partly strong and partly broken. So while these Edomites, while Rome is strong militarily, they're divided. You see, they're divided amongst political lines, race, religion, all right, different things. This is a very divided kingdom. So it says here, this is from Al Jazeera, Biden's last minute permission to strike deep inside Russia divides Europe. And this directly goes into the prophecy of Revelation 17 and 16, and we can get that. But before we go there, let's go to Mark, the 3rd chapter. Because a kingdom divided cannot stand. Let's see, Mark 3. Mark 3 and 20. Matter of fact, let me get 22. And the scribes, which came down from Jerusalem, said, He hath Beelzebub. Right, so they accused Yahushua of being, of being a sorcerer, working with demons. They was basically saying that he could only cast out demons because he himself was working with some left-hand energy, right? That's why they say he hath Beelzebub, which is another word for Satan, the devil. And by the prince of the devils casteth he out devils. And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, How can Satan cast out Satan? So basically, Yahushua, whom the world calls Christ, he basically told those wicked Pharisees, that Satan can't cast out Satan. All right, if I'm coming in the authority of Satan, why would I be casting out demons? It doesn't make any sense. If anything, if he, truly was doing what they accused him of, Yahushua would be putting more demons on people, but he was casting them out. That's why he said, How can Satan cast out Satan? And furthermore, in verse 24, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. You see? So Yahushua told the wicked scribes and Pharisees, listen, evil only produces evil. Evil does not produce good. Pretty much. All right. So you're accusing me of casting out demons. In the authority that I'm doing this, you accuse me of doing it by the work of Satan. But if I was truly of Satan, I wouldn't be casting out demons, right? I would be out here destroying people, all right? So Yahushua, all right, used parables and wisdom to cut them wicked Pharisees, man. But, the point of why I went here is because Europe, Esau's kingdom, Rome, is divided, man. All right, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. All right, so Esau's house is divided, especially furthermore with this Russian retaliatory strike. So Britain and France have long agitated for a more aggressive posture, but Germany still refuses to give Ukraine Taurus missiles. Now we can jump down to the point, right? Because this shows you that the Lord is really breaking down the wisdom of these Edomites. You know what I'm saying? They're losing their kingdom in real time. So you see, this is right here is a map of how much territory in Ukraine that Russia controls. So you see that they're carrying out offensives in different places, but the main part of what the Russians possess right now is pretty much the whole eastern side of Ukraine. They're pushing up. They just launched in Dnipro right here. That's where they launched that ICBM nuclear missile. Not nuclear missile, Salakia, because they took the nuclear warhead out. But that's where they launched that ICBM in Dnipro yesterday. All right, so they're pushing towards Kyiv. All right, Russia is pushing towards Kyiv, and especially now since it's really a full-on war, Russia more than likely is going to go all out. And right now, Ukraine, they're fighting on the back foot. You know, they're continuously having to get help from America to keep this war going. You see, it says Biden's decision divided Europe. Britain and France, which supply Ukraine with Scalp, Storm Shadow missiles of 250 kilometers or 155-mile range, and have supported lifting the ban immediately, authorized their missiles, the missiles use inside Russia's Kursk region as well. Last week, France completed training and equipping a new Ukrainian brigade, but Germany has stuck to its policy of refusing to supply Ukraine with its 310-mile Taurus missile, and a brigade it promises to lead in Lithuania will not be combat ready until 2027. Last week, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz passionately defended his caution in the Bundestag as an avoidance of escalation. Scholz further enraged other European leaders on Friday when he telephoned Russian President Vladimir Putin. So you see what's going on here. All right, you have France and Britain, you know, they're giving missiles to Ukraine. They're sending troops and artillery over there to be used in this offensive. Germany, they're not so gung-ho to do that. All right, Germany's kind of withholding back because, see, quiet as it's kept, Europe is extremely divided right now. All right, them European nations aren't even on one accord because NATO is all in disarray. Right now, you pretty much have America, they're escalating the war without even considering their European allies, because when this war does go full scale with Russia and the BRICS pretty much against the West, Europe is going to be the first ones that's going to get hit. They're going to be the first ones to eat some nukes. So you have some of these nations in Europe, they're looking at the situation and they're like, wait a minute. The reason why we're getting into these conflicts so deep is because America is the one that's pushing the buttons. You see? Now, Joe Biden, right, 2 days ago, he just gave the okay for Ukraine to use U.S. supplied missiles to strike directly into Russia. No NATO nation gave that okay. All right? Matter of fact, let's go to Revelation 17. All right? Because listen, this prophecy is playing out, man. These European nations, all right, Turkey has pretty much cut all ties with Israel. And of course, we know that America backs Israel, right? So Turkey, they're about to leave the NATO alliance. And guess what? When Turkey leaves, you're going to have other European nations follow as well. All right, so NATO is not about to be standing for too much longer. All right, this is Revelation 17 and verse 16. And the 10 horns, which thou sawest upon the beast, which those 10 horns represent NATO and the EU. All right, once again, the revival of the Western Roman Empire, right? These shall hate the whore. The whore is who? Is America, also known as Babylon the Great, the virgin daughter of Babylon. All right. So the NATO and the EU, they're going to hate the whore. They're going to hate America. It shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. All right. You already see the hatred brewing within NATO against America. All right. Because you have certain NATO nations, they're following America wholeheartedly right now, such as France and Britain. But you have others such as Germany, Italy, all right, Spain, that kind of have a side eye towards America because they see that the moves America is making is pretty much begging for Europe to be destroyed. And when you look at Europe right now, the European nations, they going through a tough time. All right, they're having financial troubles. You know, they're not bringing in as much GDP as they used to. All right, all kind of migrants are flooding into their nations, you know, breaking the place down. They don't have the resources to go around because now they're being kicked out of Africa as well. So the resources that they was getting in abundance from the African nations, that's being cut off because of Russia. Russia is helping the African nations kick out Europe. All right. So that's causing that's a major blow to those European economies. And this is all because of what? This is because of America. Remember, prior to America, pretty much getting involved in that Ukraine war, Germany was in good with Russia. They was getting cheap oil and natural gas through that Nord Stream pipeline, which, by the way, America, through the CIA Special Ops Forces, destroyed that Nord Stream pipeline. Okay, because that Nord Stream, that was a common interest between Germany and Russia. All right, so America went in there, did that operation, and they destroyed that common interest, hoping that Germany wouldn't go with Russia. But guess what? It's still going to happen. All right, this is why you have Olaf Scholz, all right, the Chancellor of Germany. He's having phone talks with Putin, and we'll get back to that. Just want to make this point real quick. Verse 17, why is this going to happen? For Yahweh hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh Bashem Shai shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, which is America, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. All right, now, I touched on it yesterday in the International Security Council. All the nations in there pretty much voted unanimously for a ceasefire in Gaza. But guess who vetoed it and the whole thing went out the window? America. Right? So America got the most pull out of all the nations. It don't matter what everybody else want, as long as America, they want their agenda to be carried out. Okay? So America is truly reigning over the kings of the earth. This is the seat of the beast, America, Babylon the Great. All right. This is why, going back to February 2022, America was the one that called that whole war to start off. All right. America is the one that posed those sanctions on Russia. All right. For them European nations to stop trading. They really didn't want that. But of course, they had to follow America or else. You see? So now, going back to this article, all right, Olaf Scholz, he's on the phone with Russia. You see? He's on the phone with Russia. It says, Scholz further enraged other European leaders on Friday when he telephoned Russian President Vladimir Putin. Putin has not spoken with Biden or an EU head of government since the end of 2022, the first year of his full-blown invasion of Ukraine. Quote, as far as I know, it was quite a business-like conversation, detailed and quite frank, as the sides laid out their positions mutually. Right? He said aides to Scholz and Putin would meet this year on a, quote, range of issues, whatever that means. All right? It could mean that Germany, they're looking to broker some kind of peace deal with Russia because they ain't trying to be destroyed. All right? Or they going to link up, Germany more than likely is going to pull a Turkey, all right? And they're going to leave NATO and join Turkey and the BRICS, you see? So that right there, man, listen, and the Lord is going to allow this to happen because this is the Lord strategically breaking down Esau's kingdom, all right? He's going to divide these Edomites one against another for them to destroy themselves, man. This is what is occurring right now, okay? It says U.S. retired General Ben Hodges recently lamented this lack of allied unity. See, you have this guy, Ben Hodges, a U.S. retired general. He laments this lack of allied unity because, look, there was a point where Esau's kingdom was divided. All right, you had all these Edomites on one accord, but now there's division sown within the midst, okay, because you have conflict of interests, you see? And guess who's messing everything up? America. Because America, they trying to do too much, man. Like, they're trying to, start so many wars, all right? America wants war with China. They're supporting an active war in Gaza right now with them small hats, okay? Then they got Ukraine. All right, soon it's going to be, war on the Turkish front, all right? Then you're going to have, Russia, their rumors going around, right? Matthew 24, wars and rumors of wars. All right, now there's a rumor that Putin is going to invade into Poland. All right, so you have multiple, also China and Taiwan. So all these things going on simultaneously. You see, this is what these Edomites fear, because when they were, and this is also how you know that they on the way out, because a society, a kingdom runs best when everyone can agree. Once you see that division is sown within the midst and everybody can't come on one accord to achieve a common goal, that's how you know that a society is on the way out, man. All right. When everything runs smooth and everyone can agree, that's when you're at the height of your strength. But you start to, break down and lose your power when everybody has a different opinion. All right. You have everybody sit down at the round table, and one guy's like, yeah, we should do it like this. Then the other person's like, nah, I don't like that. We should do it this way. Then everybody just starts shouting, and it's a whole bunch of confusion. That's the state of Esau's government right now. They're not united, and everybody in the military knows that. All right. So it says Russian messaging quickly doubled down on the division within Europe. Check this out. French President Emmanuel Macron has been one of the most vocal and biggest material supporters of the war, advocating for victory over Russia, for Russia's strategic defeat. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said at the G20 summit in Rio de Janeiro, Scholz has repeatedly said that this is his principal position, despite all the criticism. Well, I think Scholz's position is a responsible stance. All right, so you have some in Europe that agree and some that don't agree, right? Check this out. It says Hungary, which has argued against EU sanctions against Russia, also broke ranks with the EU over Biden's licensing of Ukrainian deep strike. You see? So Hungary, they're separating from the EU. They're separating from NATO. The threat of the escalation of the Ukraine-Russian war is greater than ever. Hungarian Defense Minister Christoph Szalay, I don't even know how to say that. Hungary said it would place an air defense system on its border with Ukraine, and Prime Minister Viktor Orban, who currently holds the rotating presidency of the EU, convened a meeting of Europe's Defense Council to discuss the danger of escalation. So you see, Rome is divided. Everybody in Rome don't want war. Okay, you have some that want war, and you have some that are against it because they understand the implications. But nonetheless, World War III is going to break out whether they like it or not. You see, and guess what? Guess who's the main one that's going to push this thing? It's going to be those small hats in America. All right, that's why, as we just read in Revelation 17 and 16, the beast shall hate the whore. Okay, the beast shall hate the whore, man. Very soon, NATO is not going to be a thing, and the EU is going to disband. All right, over this, nonsense that America has been upholding. Let's go to Obadiah. All right, let's go to Obadiah. Because listen, right now, the Lord, he's taken away the wisdom from these Edomites to rule. Obadiah 1 and 8. It says, shall I not, matter of fact, let me get 7, right? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. All right. So Esau's allies, those that came confederate. All right. When you go to Psalms, the 83rd chapter, all the nations that were confederate with Esau, Edom, to take us down as a nation, even the nations that he's allied with right now. All right, guess what? They're going to turn against him. All right, and they're going to prevail and overtake this beast system, right? Because that's the Lord's will. Verse 8, shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. All right, so the Lord has a great slaughter prepared for these Edomites. and they don't even know that it's coming. See, everybody's paranoid over nuclear war and a military draft, but see, they don't understand that there is no stopping it. All right, they're counting on Trump to come into office and somehow bring world peace, but it ain't gonna happen. All right, because that's not the Lord's will. And they can still do something to Trump too. They can still off this guy before he even gets inaugurated. All right. Or what they're trying to do right now, Biden, he wants World War III to jump off full scale. All right. So in the case of that happening before Trump gets inaugurated, Trump wouldn't even be able to be inaugurated because Biden or Kamala Harris, whichever one that they want to leave in there, all right, they would be a wartime president. This is why they trying to speed up this war effort, man. This is why they're escalating things so quickly, because they want, the Biden regime to stay in office, okay? Because, of course, if Biden stays in there, the borders are going to stay open, you see, and they're going to continue to support Israel in this war. Although Trump, he's pro-Israel as well. So that war in Israel will still continue. But this whole Ukraine thing, all right, Trump wants to end that. And Biden, of course, they're going to continue to escalate that, man. All right, so what you're seeing right now is all within the interests of the elites. But even in that, the Most High is stripping Esau of his wisdom. He's confused, okay? He don't know whether he want to be for the war or be against it. His whole kingdom is divided, man. Let's go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 9. 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And part of the signs past is what? The prophecies, okay, of what Yahweh Shah said. In the last days you will see wars and rumors of wars, kingdom rise against kingdom, okay, nation against nation, earthquakes, pestilence, famine. All right, these are the signs, man, that we see all these things taking place at these times simultaneously. Okay, then you're going to understand that it's the very same time, man, pursuing to Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter and the 3rd verse. All right, the vision is yet for an appointed time, man. All right, so this is the time now for all these things to come forth and be fulfilled in their said measure. And we know that World War III is not going to jump off on a full nuclear scale until the mark comes into the picture, right? Once that MOTB is rolled out, once people start getting microchipped, all right, that's when you know that we truly at the end of the end. You know what I'm saying? Because we see everything happening right now, but the end is not yet. There's still some things left to happen. Verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand. So you're going to well understand, all right? When you see people all around the world protesting their government, all right? Because right now, the truth is coming forth like a flood. People are waking up. Everybody is waking up to the truth of what's been going on in this earth. They're finding out that their leaders have lied to them and that they've pushed them lies and falsehood. All right, as it says in Jeremiah 16 and 19, our fathers have inherited us lies and things wherein there is no profit. All right. And what's been the main driving force to this great awakening? Well, it's been the internet. All right. The unicorn that's been used to reach people worldwide, man. All right, information is abundant on the unicorn, man. Everybody can have access to different opinions and do their own research. All right, that's what the Most High created this World Wide Web for, man, to connect the whole world to eventually be exposed to the truth. All right, but yeah, you're seeing all these things, uproars of the people, protests everywhere. People homeless, people are starving, dying, people, OD'd on drugs. It's all kind of stuff going on. Earthquakes. There was a article I seen earlier, like 80 earthquakes went off, and I think it was Tahiti or something like that. But now they're talking about a volcano could possibly erupt because there's been so many earthquakes, and that's not the only place. I mean, even right here in America, there was an earthquake in North Carolina. There was an earthquake in California. There's earthquakes all over America, all over the world, man. Right, just like Yahweh Shah said, in diverse places, many places. Yeah, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, pursuant to what? Prophecy. And we know that as it is written, that the testimony of Yahweh Shai is that of prophecy, man, roughly paraphrasing. So if you're in a spirit of prophecy, you're in a spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right? So the Most High, you know, through the Rakah Kadash, right, through his men, is making these visions plain upon tables. Right? And it's a beautiful thing that we can look at the events going on in this world and plug it back directly into biblical prophecy. Even so much now that you have Christians getting into prophecy, which you never heard these Christians get into prophecy, man. But not all of a sudden now Christians want to become scholars on biblical prophecy. But and they still fall short. Ultimately because the spirit is not working with them. All right. They just listen to the real prophets, and they'll take certain things that they agree with and they'll include it into their doctrine. All right. But you never heard, your Christian pastor try to go into, Revelation, what I'm saying? Trying to go into last days prophecy, go into Luke and Matthew, St. Mark and John. You never heard these Christian pastors going into these things. Now everybody want to be a prophet, right? It's crazy, man. But you know what? It's all good because, these talking points are being put out there to fulfill the Lord's will. All right, that's how you know that we at the end as well, man, because the truth is springing forth like a flood. All deceit is being quenched. All the lies are being overturned now. Now it's the time for the truth to be put at the forefront. When in past times it was lies that was exalted, man. All right. Verse 5, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest through the signs of the times. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder, and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. All right. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. Yeah. So you see, we continue to watch what's going on with Russia and really worldwide. Geopolitically, the earth is on fire. All right. That's why Yahweh Shah also said that a fire is kindled, and what will I, matter of fact, let me see if I can get it. I don't want to butcher it. A fire is kindled. Yeah, Luke 12 and 49. It's a lot. Luke 12 and 49. Let me get the whole chapter. Luke 12 and 49, it says, I am come to send fire on the earth. And what will I if it be already kindled? You see? So Yahweh Shah said that I am come to send fire on the earth. That's a literal and a figurative fire, man, because Yahweh Shah, he is coming back with fire. All right, the first world was destroyed by water. This time around, it's going to be fire. Okay, you can read Isaiah the 66th chapter to tap into that. All right, but he said, what will I if it already be kindled? Okay, so by the time Yahweh Shah come back, the world is going to literally and figuratively be on fire, man. And right now, the earth is on fire. Everything going on, this place is on its last legs. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the Rakah Kadash and closing call halal. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash. And until next time, Lord willing, shalom to the elect, Kum Yasha'Allah, and the Bible Ball. Shalom on to the next one.